All right. And we go. Okay. Just normal streaming now. Hi, guys. Oh, Lord. Ah, Lordy-loo. I tried streaming differently so I could stream art again, but it didn't work. So we're just gonna chill stream now because now I'm in a stream mood. So here we go. Yeah, I basically just really wanted to, I wanted to try and I wanted to try and stream off my iPad because that's a possible thing you can do. But, so I tried and that very much didn't work clearly. But, I mean, it might still, I just might need to figure out a different strategy. I mean, I've heard that there's ways it can work where you can stream on your iPad to YouTube, but clearly what I was doing wasn't working. So, yeah, and it's weird because, like, what really frustrates me about streaming off of iPads and shit is the fact that, like, you can't just stream directly to things. No, you gotta get a different app, and then you gotta connect the apps to other things. I got this one that looked like it could have worked as a third-party app, but it required you to give them permission to edit your video, like, to be able to edit your videos. And I know that's technically just for the sense of, like, being able to edit your stream so it works with your iPad, but that sort of, like, it just that kind of thing, it doesn't sound like something I'm comfortable with, so I just didn't do it. And so I'll figure it out. There's a bunch of shit online. I just have to actually sit down and fucking read it. So, but whatever. I just won't deal. I'll just deal with that when I have more time and less stuff I need to do, I guess. But eventually I'll be able to stream art again, hopefully. Because I'm just not drawing on my computer anymore, I guess. I don't know. I'm animating on my computer, but for some reason I just like, yeah. So, but I do all my art on my iPad. So, I don't know. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, didn't work. So I'm done for today. I'm gonna just do this and then probably work on other things, play games, whatever, have my weekend or whatever. Yeah. So how's all you guys' day? Haha. Welcome to Zodiac Tangents in his self-proclaimed chill stream. Oh goodness. Now I'm looking at the chat. Also, I will say I got Super Chat now because I'm 18, so I can get that now. Not that anybody needs to pay it. I just thought I'd set it up because I think it's fun. And I'm like, why not? It's there, so you don't need to give me any money because I don't need it. But it's there. It exists. So, because I thought I might as well. Oh, goodness. I'm just looking at art. This always happens when I'm on DA. I just start browsing fucking art. Because I can't stop. Okay, I'm done. Okay, no more looking at art. I can't. Bad Zodiac. Looking at art and not looking at the chat. Okay, so hi guys. Hello. Welcome to my stream. Now I'm really paying attention to the chat, I swear. So, yes, hello. Yeah, I use an iPad Pro. So I use Procreate and shit. I mean, I guess I could actually spend my time working on that stupid animatic today. I could, but am I? Probably not. I mean, I could make a playlist if I actually sat down and did it and wasn't lazy about it. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I could. I don't really know. Because honestly, I'm not really a person who goes back to watch random streams. The most I'll do is watch, like, if someone played a game or something and I wanted to see them do that, like when Markiplier streams, I'll watch those again if that was a game or something like that. But I mean, I don't know, I could, I guess. I mean, I guess that's other people do. I don't know. I guess I'm in the minority with that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm like, my brain has just immediately shut off. So yeah. Oh yeah, right. And if anyone wants to ask like questions and stuff, the best way to do it is to tag me in the comment and then start it off with question. So yeah. Oof, I gotta make an animatic for a school project. Any tip for making animatics? Also, be really interested in seeing animatics and animations from you. I don't know if I have a lot of tips for animatics specifically because I don't make a lot of them, so I don't really have any like groundbreaking, super helpful tips over a broad spectrum of things with that. I mean, the most I would say is don't be me and start like filling in the animatic with actual animation on accident, I guess, if you just need to make an animatic, but I don't know. And yes, I'm working on one, but it's kind of longish, so you know, Tiny, I appreciate it, but I'm done working on it for today, so I appreciate it, but right now I'm good. I'm just here to chill now. So, yeah, I am working on an animatic, but it's kind of longer, so it's taking me some time. So it probably won't be around for a while. I don't know why I'm very not good at just sitting at working on animation fast. What's my opinion on tweening? It's an actual animation skill, and like any other skill in animation, if you do it correctly, it looks fine. And I don't know why there's so many people who fucking throw a fit about tweening, but I don't really want to get into a bunch of drama shit, so, you know. Like, I've been in an animation class, and the fact that people say, like, tweening isn't animation, yes, it is. Like, it's an actual recognized tactic for animating. Like, it's a term, and that's what you do to allude to movement. It's an actual thing. So if you do it correctly, it looks fine. So I don't know why everyone acts like tweening is the devil and that tweening is some cheap animation tactic. Anyway, can you explain your stories? I'm pretty new. Just like depends which story. I have a lot of them. So, yeah. Guys, my username is TheZodiacLord. It's not gonna tag me if you put ZodiacLord. I'm tired. I don't know why I'm tired. I'm not really that tired. My brain's just tired, I guess. Hello, people. Hello. Oh, I'm fucking looking at art again. I gotta stop. What's my favorite SU character? I don't really know at this point. I've just watching it casually. I don't really have a favorite character because I like a lot of the characters for different reasons. So, what's the best way you can think about what is the best way you think you can go about making settings for your stories? I'm into horror, but I don't like cliches. I don't entirely understand the question, you big boy. Like, do you mean like how do I go about picking a setting, like where everybody lives and stuff? Because that's just kind of up to you and what kind of story you want, because the story will change drastically depending on what setting you pick. So, like, I guess if you're asking me, like, if you want to make a horror story but you don't want a cliche setting, just pick a setting that you don't see a lot in horror movies and stuff. I know that's not really very specific advice, but, like, if you want to avoid cliches, that's what you have to do. So... What's my favorite musical? I don't really know. Do you have any tips for designing characters? I mean, depends what you're going for. There's a lot of different ways you can go about designing characters. I guess the best thing I could say is just don't be afraid to change something if you don't think it's working. And that just keep in mind what you're going for and what kind of story you're making. It also depends if you're making a character for a story, if you're just making a character to just goof around with. I don't know. Do you know any musicals? Yes, I'm a theater student. I know plenty of them. I know you're not into Steven Universe as much anymore, but but if you could think of any off the top of your head, what gems would some of the main Universe cast be? I don't really know. See, I don't know because it's hard to pick canon gems when none of them look anything like canon gems. Like, I couldn't pick any of them to be a sapphire because they just don't look like sapphires, and so that's really, I don't know. I've tried to think about it before, but it doesn't really end well. Yeah, I don't really know. The only thing I could think of was that I would always imagine that infinity and other reality gods would be diamonds, but that's really all I could come up with. What's my Hogwarts house? I don't know. I say it's Ravenclaw, but I've never seen anything related to Harry Potter, so I have no idea. I'm not a Harry Potter person. Question, what's your zodiac sign? Virgo. Well, what's your favorite story or the one you've come the farthest on? I mean, I don't have a favorite story because generally I swing between I'll swing between phases with my stories. So sometimes I'll be really into one story and be drawing a lot of art for it and then be into another one. So I guess the one I've come the farthest on will probably be either Luniverse or Seven Sins and a Baby. Since those are the most quote unquote finished ones in terms of what there's like how fleshed out they are. But yeah, my first story ever, though, I've been working on recently, and I'm actually starting to do concept art for it. It's great. Okay, sorry. Sorry if I miss any questions. I'm going to the bottom, so you can re-ask questions, just don't spam. So, whatever happened to the baby from Seven Deadly Sins and a Baby? Whatever happened to her? Like, what was her backstory? Because that's a spoiler. Or it's not, I guess, not a very drastic spoiler, but it's something that's going to be revealed later, so... If that's what you're asking. If you're just asking, like, I don't know, I guess I don't know what else that would mean, but, yeah, so just her backstory, that's supposed to be a little bit in an air of mystery, so. Who knows? Whoa. Why I gotta be so cool? I don't really think I'm that cool. I'm just a weirdo doing internet junk like everybody else. Would you ever consider making like a species that wasn't part of a story that you would make adopts for? I have considered that. I've actually kind of tried, but it usually, I think the one I ever did didn't work out. I've co-owned one, but that kind of just died off. So I've considered it. I might try it again at some point, but currently I got nothing. So, you know. Yeah, but I've tried before, although I would probably have it be something that's not as a closed species because I think that's, I don't know, to me, I like having people have a little bit of freedom without it all being behind a paywall. What YouTubers outside of art YouTubers do you watch? A lot, like Markiplier, and I watch a lot of Ponder Sprocket, which isn't technically an art, she's not technically an art YouTuber, she's a commentator, so, I watch a lot of other stuff. Honestly, a lot of videos I watch, I'm not like subscribed to the person. So like I've watched a ton of like Night Bear Expo and like stuff like that. I've watched lots of commentaries and shit. So watch a lot of rants and junk. Have you ever heard of Thomas Sanders? I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Not really bringing anything like not really doesn't stand out to me, I guess. I don't know. Have you ever watched the show Big Brother? My dad's friend was on it once. That's cool. I've never seen it. I know what it is. I've never really watched it. I like Star Wars? It's okay, I guess. I'm not really a massive fan, I guess. Do you ever get frustrated when commenters misgender you, or do you just try? I don't care. Like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like, y'all, I've like even in real life, I don't correct people with my gender half the time, like, or most of the time, like 99% of the time, actually, because to me, my gender's like 100% a personal thing to me, and while I will tell people that I feel like should know, like people who are my friends and stuff, like normally if I don't have to tell someone, I just don't tell them, like, because to me it doesn't bother me that much, like I don't care, you know. And I understand that it's like if somebody calls me a her in my comment section, that's probably because I sound like a girl to them, and to me I can't, they cannot, like, there is no reason for me to blame them. So to me, I don't get frustrated with it. So it's just, to me, I don't really care. What are your favorite Instagram and or DeviantArt artists? Well, Instagram, I don't really follow a lot of people. I just kind of follow my friends or people I already followed on DeviantArt. Because to me, Instagram's kind of I don't really care. And I just really don't like how Instagram does its feed, and I don't really love how it does its comment system and shit. How it does its notifications, because whenever I get a comment, I have to scroll through a billion other favorite things to get to the single fucking comment, and it irritates me. Yeah, but I do follow a lot of artists on DeviantArt. Let me think. I follow like River Spirit. I follow my friends, of course. I can't remember usernames. See, that's one of my big issues. I can't remember usernames half the time for the life of me, except for like my friends' usernames, or like artists I have like a mutual, like I talk to and stuff. But yeah, I follow quite a few artists. There's a lot of really good artists and stuff. I watch anime, not so much anymore. Do I like Hamilton? I've never seen it. I've heard all the music. I like the music. Not really I'm not really into musical fandoms and stuff. So, question, do you like animation memes? I don't really watch them, but they are what they are. Are you going to be / have you been in any maps? I kind of want to do a map. I'm just worried that I wouldn't be able to get things done in a reasonable amount of time. And I also, for like good maps, I don't really have the portfolio currently to like show people, look, I can do this kind of stuff and make quality animations, which some maps like require you to do. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be in a map. I might, but I don't really, currently I don't think I could really do it, and stuff. So yeah. Do you know the Muffin Man? I mean, no, I guess. I don't know. I don't ever know how to respond to Mimi questions. Do you have a Discord? Yes, I do. What's your opinion on animation memes? People both like them, and I think hate them, so I'm just asking. I mean, they are what they are. I get why people like them. I get why people might like them. I get why people might dislike them. I don't understand why there's so much fucking drama in that community, and I don't understand why, like I get it. They're not the most entertaining content, but people flip out because, like, geez, this bad animator is, like, really popular or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, not really their fault. Unless they're, like, putting false tags or something, like, or they're tracing, then it's, like, it doesn't affect you. Go watch something you would, like... I get it. I know the don't like it, don't watch argument isn't always a good one, but yes, it is totally a legitimate argument in certain situations. Like, if you don't if you already know I don't like animation memes, don't go watch them, because people will do that, like where they'll go watch animation memes just to make a big deal about it. It's like, okay, but you already knew, you saw from the thumbnail and title that this was something you knew you weren't going to enjoy, so don't watch it. Now, obviously, if you watched it because you thought it looked good and then it turned out to be disappointing, that's a little bit different. But like, if you just know you're a person who doesn't particularly like animation memes and you have nothing intelligent to say in terms of reviewing them, then just move on with your life, please. Like, to me, it's just kind of ridiculous. And I feel like people, I don't know, but to me, I don't really care. They are what they are. People do them. I think there's better ones and there's worse ones. And I think, personally, to me, they're not always very entertaining because they are very repetitive most of the time. Like, if I did an animation meme, I would want to do it where there was a bit more of a story going on, but that's just me. So it is what it is. I don't think you saw my question already, but what's your advice on making good fantasy stories that doesn't look super amateur? Just fleshing it out, I suppose. Like, world building is key with fantasy stories, and just to try and come up with things because that's how you want it to go and not just kind of copy every other fantasy you ever see. I guess that would be my advice. I don't really know. Kind of depends on what you're looking for, what you're intending to do and stuff. Like, I guess I could say I'm working on like redoing one of my oldest stories, and I've been working on like redoing it and stuff, and I've been like reworld building it up from the ground up, and it's been super fun, and I'm starting concept art on it, and a lot of it is just like coming up with ideas without, like, for example, when I was working on it, a lot of what I was doing when I was making a bunch of fantasy species was thinking, okay, I don't want to do what every other interpretation does with it. Like, for example, I have these creatures called, in my world, their species is just the bats. So they're not like, they're not, so they're essentially like bat-like people, and they're based on vampire bats. Very closely. So they're actually so essentially they are my world's quote-unquote vampires, but they are just very bat-like, and they're very small, they're very petite, and they don't like kill people and like turn other people into vampires. They just need a little bit of blood to survive. So they just take small portions of it from different animals and people and stuff, and depending on what is available. And they're actually like super friendly and super passive and stuff. But people think they look scary. So there was a bunch of legends that spiraled out of control that made them rumored to be like bloodthirsty vampires. So that's my vampires in my fantasy world. So it's just kind of stuff like that. Oh God, there's so many questions. Okay, I'm going to go back to the bottom again. If I missed your question, I apologize. You can re-ask, just don't spam. Yeah, so... least favorite fandom? I mean, I don't really know if I have a least favorite. The only, I guess... I mean, I could only ever really say I'd have a least favorite based on what I view from the outside, and to me that's not really fair, because in that cases you usually only see the bad stuff and not so much the good stuff. Because, like, by that... Because, I mean, I could easily say creepypasta, but that would be because... Yeah, I guess if I had to say least favorite, it would just be creepypasta, only because that one has caused so much real-life toxicity and, like, actually caused real-life consequences, as opposed to a lot of other fandoms that are just kind of maybe cringy personally to look at, but honestly, they are harmless in the end. But, like, the creepypasta fandom as a whole, like, the bad parts have actually caused real-life consequences and, like... very bad issues. So that would be, I guess, my answer to that. But, yeah. But, like, honestly, it's hard to say, like... I have a hard time, like, talking bad about fandoms, because, again, I only ever see the bad things. So, I think it's unfair, I guess. I don't know. What do you think about the Eddsworld fandom? I mean, I don't know. I don't really... see much from them, because I mean I will say this God, I will say this. What I find hilarious is that there's so many people, I know this isn't directly answering your question, but my answer, I guess, is I'm indifferent. But like, it's so funny to me when people make a big deal about like really bad fandoms, when 99% of the time, if you just want to avoid a fandom, it's really easy. You just kind of ignore it. It's actually really magical. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. They're okay. I've seen cool art with that kind of stuff. I think like watching a few episodes of the series, it's pretty entertaining, but I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. Are you cool with me answering stuff that you already answered? I don't want to speak on your opinions, just general stuff like your zodiac sign and things. Yeah, that's cool, Tiny. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. That's cool. Thanks. Are you excited for Halloween? Yeah, I guess. I'm probably not going to go trick-or-treating this year, but I might hand out candy or do something. I don't know. You got a Twitter? Yes, I do. It's TheZodiacLord, because I'm original. I had an idea to make a vampire race that had to be banished because rumors in the dark that they drank blood spawned because they were bloodbenders. I'm not sure if it's a stupid idea, so, I mean, go for it. That's fine. And no idea is inherently terrible. All ideas can be done right, so that's my belief at least. Oh boy. Have you ever gotten recognized in real life? Like not off of something where I'm like walking down the street and someone like totally recognized me, but one time I was there in school, there was somebody who said, who asked if I had a YouTube, and she said that she had a friend who was like a fan of my videos and stuff, so that was pretty cool. And then there was a kid who knew me in theater who accidentally found my YouTube, so that was funny. But yeah. How is one able to tell if you have characters that are over/underdeveloped compared to others? How can you fix it? Well, to me, overdeveloped isn't really a problem unless you just don't write it correctly. Like, as in, like, I don't know how to really explain that one. That would be kind of hard to totally answer. But, like, you can't really overdevelop a character at the end of the day. Underdeveloped, well, that would just be a comparison of looking at, like, for example, if there are a lot of questions about your character you can't answer that might be kind of important for the story. But yeah, so like if it just seems like your character's underdeveloped, then just like ask yourself different questions about the character, and like if you can't answer them, come up with an answer, you know? One of a really good strategy with like I've seen is that where people will make flashcards with very random questions that aren't even related to the story, and you'll put a character in your mind and you'll try to answer those questions as the character. And if you find one that you don't actually know the answer to, well, there you go. You got something to try and figure out. So, opinion on Bowsette, I think it's cool. There it goes. Another internet trend. Have you ever done any physical art like clay or sewing? I'm just wondering because in your art you have such a great grasp on the 3D shapes of your characters. I have kind of like in elementary school, but I don't really do a lot of it. So, yeah. Would you rather make a comic from scratch or write a creepypasta from scratch? I mean, I'd probably have an easier time writing a creepypasta from scratch. I almost did. I just couldn't get from a different one point to another, so I just kind of put it on the back burner. But making a comic from scratch is significantly harder than writing for me. So, how do you know Mitchie / how did you meet? Well, apparently we both had seen at least one of each other's videos, and she apparently gave me a small shout out in one of her videos, and I was live streaming and someone brought it up, so I was like, oh, that's cool, and I went and looked and I'm like, oh my god, I've actually watched some of these YouTubers' videos. And then she was apparently in my chat at the time, so we said hi, and that was cool. And so that's how we met each other, or like properly met each other, and then it just kind of went from there. I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but I'm just noisy like that, sorry, but what's your opinion on comic dubs, and would you join one if the chance came? I mean, I think comic dubs are really cool. I like comic dubs. I would totally join one I would totally audition for one if I saw an opportunity and it was something I feel like it would be fun. What's the earliest fandom you remember being a part of? Shit. Probably Warrior Cats. That's at least probably one of the more proper ones I was in. I can't come up with a name for my story, so any advice on that? I mean, I can't really help you. I don't know anything about the story, so just come up with some ideas, spitball, like ask around, ask some people, all that kind of good stuff. Might Mitchie swing by the stream? I mean, unless she wakes up in like the next, I don't even know how long I'm going to be streaming after this, but like, you know, if she wakes up and swings by, then maybe, but there's no plans for it. So do you play video games? Yeah, I do occasionally. Not really any like, I don't play a lot of like really dead set games and stuff like that. A lot of them are just kind of stuff like The Sims 4 or just like really casual games that aren't really big story driven ones. So would you set up a dub for your own comic? Could that be fun? Well, yeah, I would, but I would rather be finished with my comic before I did it. I planned on making a dub. Do I have an amino? I mean, I did. I don't touch it like at all anymore. So, yeah. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna respond to a comment real quick. Sorry, I'm silent. I'm just responding to something. Okay, sorry. All right, I'm done. I just want to, sometimes if I don't respond to something, it doesn't get out of my head, so. Hey, okay. All right, do you watch Drawfee? No, I don't think, no, I don't. I mean, maybe I've seen like one or two of their videos, but I don't think I've subscribed to anyone like that, so. I know Ginger Ninja has a comic dub she has up now, and one she says is in the process, but she's been offline for some time, so there's possibly two characters. If you like what they're about. Well, I mean, I'd have to see something that would actually be open for like auditions for that kind of thing, because I doubt someone would just be especially because I don't follow Ginger Ninja, so Do you plan on making any more stories anytime soon? I mean, not any like actual like comics or written stories, no, probably not. Are we allowed to plug our DeviantArt accounts? Not in the stream chat. How do you write an intro to a comic? If you have your own world or species, how do you introduce it? Well, that would depend on what kind of story you're writing, because like there's different ways you can go about it. You can start with a narration, but even then you have to be careful that it's not too much exposition and reading. Or you can just like literally jump right into the thick of it and let it be explained as the characters go. So next video coming when? I don't know. I'm not working on anything right now, so. What's your favorite type of character personality to write? Probably anything sassy. It's always fun. Like, I love writing Lust, and I love writing Vanessa. For some reason, I like writing characters that tend to monologue. I don't know why. I hate writing the monologues, but I love writing those kinds of characters. But, I also love my awkward beans. Those are always fun. I was thinking about doing commissions for my art in my school, which is allowed. I asked, and I was wondering if you had any tips to see how I should get people's attention for it. I mean, I don't know. I haven't ever really done like real life commissions in like my school and stuff, so I guess I would just set something up, like a sign or something. I don't really know. I don't think I have any advice for that, because I've never done something. I've never done anything like that. Thoughts on superhero films? They're pretty cool. I like me some Avengers and junk. Do you like writing / drawing fight scenes? Kind of, not really. They're not my favorite thing to draw and write, I don't think. Just because, like, for me, it's really hard to choreograph how I want it. So, it's not really my favorite thing to write or draw. Do you have an estimated date for when Seven Sins and a Baby will be back? No. Sorry. I'm working on it very slowly. So I got nothing right now. Marvel, DC? I mean, honestly, I like both for different reasons. So, I mean, I guess Marvel a little more just because I've seen more Marvel stuff. But personally, I like both in different ways. So... Okay. So I know this is a super difficult question for a story writer, especially one with like 7 bajillion characters, but if you could choose, name 5 of your favorite characters. I don't know. I guess just thinking about it, I guess like Vanessa, Lust, my son Kai, probably, I guess I'd pick my son Morgan because he's cute and I love him as a concept. And I guess Solar, he's a fun time, so. Quick, pick a color. Brown. Any major tips to people writing a fantasy story? I don't really know if I have any major tips because fantasy can be a lot of different things. Fantasy is a very broad genre. Because, I mean, fantasy can be anything from, like, Lord of the Rings to, like, to a superhero movie, really. What's the most fun kinds of scenes to draw? Personally, I like to draw post-death scenes. I don't know. I like dramatic scenes, or I like scenes that start kind of lighthearted and turn dramatic. I also like funny scenes where there's a lot of miscommunication going on because I think it's silly. I like me a good death scene. I can't say I don't. I also like really tense scenes. Have you started on the new Universe portraits? If not, when do you think you'll do it? No, I have not, and I don't know. So, would you ever make a comic just for Crackland? If Mitchie and I were to make a comic for Crackland, we couldn't do it for years because there are so many spoilers from both our stories. So we'd have to both basically be done with our stories before we could ever make a comic, and hers most certainly won't be done for like years, and mine probably won't be done for a long time either. So we've thought about it. We would want to, but just currently we can't. So do you have any tips for SU characters? I mean, I don't know. It depends on which one you're making or what you're going for, I guess. Favorite overdone troops and assuming you mean tropes. Off the top of my head, I'm not really sure. I mean, I do usually kind of like smart, serious character with really crazy character. That's usually something I like when it's done correctly. I like... See, I don't know what would be overdone either, so... Serious question now, but what's your advice on getting your commissions out there? Just put them out there. Don't like spam them, but like just put them out there and keep drawing what you draw, and like it's okay to advertise them, so long as you're not like just updating the same journal a billion times with nothing added. And then just wait. Sometimes you just have to wait, and they'll eventually come. Don't be afraid to advertise if like the opportunity arises. Like obviously don't go around advertising like on other people's commissions or on other people's stuff or whatever where you're not supposed to be, because that's just not really cool. But yeah, sometimes you just have to wait though. That's just kind of the reality of it. What kind of music do you like and listen to when you work? Do you like Panic at the Disco? I like some of their songs, I guess. I don't really have a specific kind of genre of music I like. I have anything on my phone from, like, cheesy musical songs to, like, really hardcore edgy stuff. And usually when I work, I'm actually watching YouTube and shit, so not always music. Favorite color? I mean, I like all colors. All colors are nice and equal and whatever. But I guess particularly, I like gold and yellow with stuff. I like blues. I like purples. Stuff like that. I like me some sunset colors too. Oh, Lord. I'm yawning. Whew. Gotta figure out what I'm gonna do later. I know what my warm-up's going to be, but I need to figure out what what I'm gonna do in terms of everything else. Gotta work on concept art. I gotta actually work a little bit on a page today. I gotta work on commissions and Patreon requests. So, oh boy. Favorite thing to draw? I like drawing hair. I like drawing eyes. I love drawing expressions and junk. I like drawing dynamic poses sometimes, depending on what it is. I'm asking too many questions, but do you have a funny give me free art stories? I don't really have anything that's not like everything else you've ever seen online ever when it comes to free art stories. And luckily, most of the time I've dealt with people, they've been civil or they haven't pushed, so it will usually be like, do you do requests? No, I don't do requests. Okay, bye. So, nothing really significant or that hasn't already been told online before. Can we have some shading tips? One of my best tips is that, like, try to avoid shading just with straight black, unless the picture would actually call for it. So personally, I like using multiply with like a dull purple or red color. That's usually the colors that generally look best, although not always with like greens and blues. You'll usually need a different color for those. Try and make sure you know where your light source is when you're drawing, or the shading will be all over the place. Yeah. What's your favorite trope that isn't large casts of characters that don't have to be overdone or popular? I don't really know. I guess just like I like very drastically different personalities among characters. Like I like having two characters interact that are very different and total opposites. I like romances that are like opposites attract too. I like reincarnations shit I have to incorporate in like every other story I do, because reincarnation is fun. I like the idea. I like the struggle of like an uncontrollable destiny kind of thing. Stuff like that. Do you plan on making any more SU videos? I mean, probably not, unless I feel like there's a topic I could talk about or something, I guess. How do you come up with stories and how do you start them? I mean, I come up with stories from all sorts of places. It can come from like, it can come from just asking a what if. It can come from just having an inspiration or an idea I feel like should be expanded upon. If you mean like how do you start them, like how do you start a story from a narrative standpoint, well, there's many different strategies to doing that. It depends on what story you're doing and what you're going for and what you think would work best in the flow of the story. If you mean start them as in like how do you start working on them, you just have to start going. You can't let yourself worry about like I have to start with the perfect thing or you're never going to start. So you just kind of have to start working on it wherever your heart takes you. So, yeah. Have you ever attempted Inktober? Nope, not yet. What is your opinion on cross-hatching? I mean, it's an art technique. I don't have any significant opinions about it, I guess. Is there any character you dislike writing? Ooh, that's a good one. I guess I don't always really like writing. I don't really like writing very, how do I do this? Like very negative, very I'm not gonna do this kind of character unless I'm writing them with a character that's not that. Because whenever you have a character that like just in character, it's really hard to have a character that's like in character they just wouldn't do most things. They're really hard to write and they can be very frustrating to write unless you have the right other character interacting with them. I don't really love characters that are just like, how do I describe it? Like, I don't know how to really word it right. I guess characters that just have to bring up everything wrong with them at every point they get. Those can be frustrating to write. It's also just really hard for me to write egotistical characters, honestly, because it's hard for me to figure out how to make it sound natural. But yeah, I don't really have one that I particularly hate writing, but yeah. Random question, if you could magically become completely fluent in another language of your choice, what language would you want it to be? Probably sign language, honestly. Because to me, it's a very helpful one. And I feel like I just would like to know sign language, honestly. Cats or dogs? They're all good boys. All of them. The cats and the dogs, they're all good boys. When did you start having an interest in drawing? I mean, I've always kind of drawn, I've always drawn from a young age, but I didn't really get serious with it until like middle school. So, yeah. Probably only gonna stream for like 10 more minutes, honestly. Kind of just did this stream just to make up for the fact that my test didn't work. And I got stuff I need to do. Shit to work on. I gotta draw more human faces for my story and blah 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 blah. Pet peeves? I mean, just general pet peeves? Because I don't really have any that stand out to me, maybe other than like... Shit, I don't really have a lot that stand out in my mind. Other than like really repetitive noises, but that's kind of a given with anyone, isn't it? Do you ever have the feeling of just wanting to make an OC out of nowhere? Just want to know, yes, every day, it's my problem. Do I have any pets? Yes, I do. I have a doggo named Chloe. I have a catto named Pumpkin, and I have and my my dad's girlfriend has a doggo named Dixie who acts like a cat a lot of the time. Oh dear, yawning. Help. Send help. Not really a question, but a roleplay horror story. One time I was RPing with the user and we decided to do a circus RP and the person made their character notice my OC's issues. Oh, well, that sucks. I hate it when that happens. Oh gosh, why did I just suddenly get really tired? Do the things you read all of a sudden come back to make you laugh at weird times? Sometimes depending on what it is. It's, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely been things that, like, I'll just, at a random time, I'll just think about it again. It will make me giggle. Are you ever gonna post your White Diamond collab that you did with Mitchie, or have you? We already have posted ours, so they're both up. Favorite diamond in SU? Well, I mean, they're all like really drastically different, so it's hard not to like all of them for very different reasons. So I don't really have a favorite. Because I like Yellow Diamond. I like her because she seems to have a very in-depth character that, funnily, people don't really seem to acknowledge, but I can really see it. I like Blue Diamond because she's just. I find she's very pretty to look at, and she's very like interesting to listen to and stuff. I like White Diamond because she scares the shit out of me, and I love her, and her design's just beautiful. And then I like Pink Diamond because I like her character. She's just I just like her. Have you ever made an adoptable and just decided to want to keep it? Yes, a lot of my characters are. I have a lot of characters that are adoptables of mine that I kept. That's what Vanessa is. Yep, silence. White Diamond is scary. T-pose granny. Do I watch Kitsune Zakuro? No. Some nice weather, huh? It's been storming where I am. Like, it's just been nothing but rain. Just lots of rain. Lots of rain everywhere. Do you intend on art school? Realized I never asked. No, I do not. Art school is anything but for me. Is it a good idea for writing... Wait. Is this a good idea for writing characters? Each of my characters are written based on one of my own traits, and their power is the element that fits the personality. I mean, yeah, that could be cool. Why does Full Metal Alchemist haunt me? Help. What advice would you give to someone who is writing a graphic novel? Like, assuming you're writing one to be published, I would just say make sure you don't go back and, like, fix pages because my art styles changed too much. Like, if you're going to go back and redo your artwork, you wait until you are done with that graphic novel, and then you go back and make sure and fix it if you feel like it. But do not go 10 pages in and say, man, my art's improved so much, because it will. And don't go back and change it because it's improved, because then it will be an endless cycle and you'll never get anything done. Whew. I gotta stop looking at art. I gotta stop, but I can't. Do you have any good character building practice / templates? Need some good ones? Well, honestly, I would say if you find a template you think would work well, and then just edit it to how you need it to be edited. Because that's what I kind of do, and now I have a system. I mean, honestly, nowadays I usually just leave mine to be basic info, and then a lot of fun facts, because to me it's just having all of the specific things with personality. I feel like it's easier to explain personality as explaining a single trait, as opposed to just listing out personality traits, or feeling pressured into coming up with all the specific words for your character's personality. So sometimes it's easier just to talk about the situations they're in, as opposed to little details that can fluctuate and change and whatever. Silence again. All right, I'll give it 2 more minutes and we'll end this on an hour. But yeah, I know this wasn't a very exhilarating stream, but then again, it was a very not planned stream, so I just kind of was doing it because my iPad stream didn't work out. So well, I figured that out, you know. Ah, jeez. I'll figure out what I'm doing today with my art and hopefully get something done. How do you draw traditionally? Have you filled any sketchbooks? I do have some mostly filled sketchbooks. I don't really draw, I don't have Copics. I don't use Copics. I don't really line 99% of what I doodle. Most of my traditional art is just doodles and drawings and stuff. So I literally just found your YouTube this evening and subbed, and I wanted to ask, sorry for the newbie question, do you have a webcomic of all those characters of yours? The only story that actually has a proper comic currently is Seven Sins and a Baby, which is just on DeviantArt or Tapas. And Luniverse has a bunch of info out there, but that's just a lot of series of pictures with descriptions in it, so yeah. Thanks, Jackham. How long does it normally take you to draw something digitally? I mean, depending on what I'm drawing, I'd say the average is usually about an hour, hour and a half. So, yeah, and that's an hour. So, bye, guys. Thanks for coming to the stream. I'm sorry, it was kind of boring, but that's fine. So, yeah, hopefully I'll actually figure out at some point how to stream with my iPad, and then I can actually do art streams. Yay. So, yeah, for now off, I go to do the boatload of shit I need to actually get done. So, yeah, bye, guys.